Hello everyone, it's my plan to introduce you to my 2024 final robot, which I started building in November. The system actually got like a lot of different functions, but for now only one of the functions which has been implemented. So what it does is like it got like ultrasonic sensors, which are 6 of them, 2 in front, which is actually consider this as a front part where the driving wheels are, and then it got the other 3, the other side, which is the back, just in case you had to implement them in for reverse and moving forward, so you actually avoid obstacles. The main controller here is an STM32F446RE, and this is a personal made development board which I made actually for self-balancing. That's why you see the name here. It's actually a self-balancing thing, but I'm not using it here for self-balancing. It's actually for different purposes, which is just driving the motors and stuff. So now on this side you've got pins which are these are for encoders, since the motor which I'm using actually got encoders, and the self-balancing stuff actually needed the encoder to change the speed and stuff like that. And this is like the driving connector, which are just driving the motors. Now the system is run by using the S3 battery, which I actually under here, which is under this thing here. So it's coming out and then connect to the system itself here, which is actually going to the motor, and then I took out something which is actually like the source, which is actually going to the microcontroller now, but that's like 7 volts. There's a little switch, the toggle switch here, which you then use to switch on the the power if you had to buy it from the battery. But for simple programming stuff, like say if you want to just test the sonar or other peripherals, you just need 5 volts. You can actually use a USB, which is connecting here. So now the current iteration of this project is actually running on this FlySky FS IA6B, which is a 6-channel module, and it's controlled by using this transmitter. I actually bought that from AliExpress, but find it really good, I would say. For now, if I had to switch on the thing, and then we see how it works. If I just power it from the USB, you see that the receiver here, you got a flashing LED. The flashing LED showing that this is not bound to anything. So it actually bound before, but then now it's still not connecting to anything. So if I turn on the transmitter, you will then stop. You then stop blinking. So if I just turn it on, then I need to put this guy on here. So then you see that the LED stop blinking, actually connecting. May have to check with open up. If you want to run the motor, you cannot use the power from the USB. You actually need to power this thing from the battery. So we have to switch on the thing. So you just toggle the switch here, and then you start running the mouse. You should. Now, there are different functions. So I got a thing where I can spin the robot, or I can actually drive it forth and backwards. So these ones, you actually, okay, I use this one to drive the system. Like if I push it forward, you make it go forward, so you can see the motor is actually rotating. See, if I push it that way, okay, no, not how to do that. Okay, now if I push it, you can see that the motor will start running, going forward. So this is actually coming towards me if in real life. And then if I want to spin the robot, then I will drive one motor forth and the other one backwards, so then it's spinning the same point. But then for this, I had to use this throttle control, and in conjunction with this horizontal thing, so I have to push. If I push it that way, you can see that the ball is actually moving in different opposite directions. Then if I put it that way, which is like on the downwards, diagonal downwards, then you also change the direction, so the other one which was moving forward is actually moving backwards. If you go on the negative side, there's nothing there. So, but on the right joystick here, if you push the stick that way, you spin the robot. You see that it's moving. Then if you move it that way, you also change direction, so that actually you can use this stick to run forth, straight forth and backwards, and then also turn the robot. So if I turn it that way, you will then run the models in different directions, no, in like different speeds. That means the robot will turn. And then if I move it that way, you also turn the other way, and then if I move it that way, we turn the other way. But if I move down straight, you move backwards. That's actually the other side towards the wall. And then if I move it that way, then it comes towards me. So we'll maybe have to go outside and then show you what it does outside instead of this recording here. But so for maybe we should look at the code. What it does is like creating the project here with STM32, and if you check here, it's actually the name of the project, which is that one there, and that also implies the name which is on there. Can't see it now, but it's actually on this 3D printed parts also here, and then under the battery socket or thing where you connect the battery. So here I got a code where I tested most of the functions. I tested the encoders, which actually, because the model got encoders, and then I also tested the sonar sensors. For this, I actually just tested so that the thing can be used or in the future, maybe for different functions or something like that. Like if you want to implement something that like controlling the robot using the sensors, say like a fuzzy logic controller, or you want to use a PID to control the direction of the model, so the robot, so to automate it. And then here I got a thing which is testing the sense, this sonar on this side. It's actually a very long function. I think it's much better if you see the actual code, and then from there you're actually testing now. This is actually where the FlySky module is being read, the signal from the receiver. There actually got 6 channels, but I only use 4 in my robot, but I have implemented both 6. And then we get here, you actually get a point where they get mapped. This is actually a map function which was actually used in Arduino. I just took it and then plug it in my code, and then I print the things out just for debugging. Yes, you might need that sometimes. You got like a thing which maybe you did some wrong calculation or something like that, then you get like wrong value, so you may not know where the value is coming from. So it's much better like if you got a way to print out to the PC, and then that will help you to debug. Some of the things are actually very unnecessary. If you check this blinking LED on the thing, on the board itself, this is actually now run by interrupts. That's a timer interrupt, and that's just a simple thing here. For most people who actually run who already use the STM32, this should be nothing. So what's the timer? Okay. Timer 2. So now the encoder also use external interrupt, and then the external interrupt will then check if it actually trigger an interrupt if the pin have been the signal on the pin, that particular pin have been dropped, and then it check if the data pin, because there are actually 2 pins which are used for every one of the encoders. So if the data pins also change the direction, then you check if it's high, then you increment or decrement depending on what you actually, how you connect your stuff. Actually what's wrong on that section there. You can go out now and then see how the robot run on the real ground. As you can see, the robot is outside now. So what I'm gonna do is, like, I'm just gonna push that stick there, and then you see, like, you're actually gonna move forth. Oh no, focus please. Try to move forth. Go that direction. Remember, it's a stony area now, like in Windhoek. I'm living in Windhoek, so a lot of stones. So you actually need a lot of power to everything. So then if I move it backwards, you reverse it. If I move it forth, it should actually move forth. But then you find, like, it's spinning. Then it's one there. Then I can return it. And I can also do that. I wouldn't want to spin it here because it's very stony and you may end up getting stuck with stones. You can see that. That's a thing in Windhoek. Thank you very much for watching. I will, if I find somebody to actually make a good video, I will retake the video and then I will update it.